UMAR AHMED for IFLTV in association with MTK Global. I'm in Leicester today for Catch Robbie Davies. With me is Sonny Edwards. How you doing, Sonny?
Yeah, all good, mate.
Yeah?
All good.
So you're boxing the MTK show, topping the bill, 26th of October at your call against Farrag. Tell us a bit about that.
Yeah, like it's a great opportunity for me, to be headlining a BoxNation card like this early in my career. Probably weren't expecting it. I'm a lighter weight. Obviously, I had a good amateur career, but I didn't, I wasn't no Olympian or anything like that. So it's a great opportunity. One of the fights I've been looking for, asking for, and it's paid off. It's been frustrating at times trying to get a proper fight. We had a few fights fall through, a few fights that people ideally probably would have proper tuned in and bought into. But this is a needle fight. We don't like each other. There's no love lost there. I shared the ring for 12 rounds last year doing sparring over in the MTK Marbella gym. Obviously, I was based over there for about 7-8 months previous to him moving out there. So we know each other well enough. Like, obviously, you can't take too much from sparring, but I think you can definitely tell if you're comfortable with someone in there or they're putting you on your edge. And every single round, everyone that was there could see that I was comfortable, I think. But obviously, sparring is different size gloves, different head guards, but I think it's going to be the same sort of pattern to the spar, to the fight. Obviously, he's going to try and change that. He come round after trying to accuse me of just running around the ring and running away from him, which never happened. Anyone that was there, I was sort of taking one step out, and he's so slow-footed. I didn't need to run away from him. I didn't need to be using the whole ring because, don't get me wrong, he's tough, but he's not as strong as he thinks he is, and I think he's going to kill himself making a super flyweight. He's been putting on Instagram every day, reassuring himself that he's making 118 pounds, whatever, about 55 kilos. About jumping on scales that when I was over my bay, I never used to work there, about 3 kilos too light. So, but no, it's all fun and games, and I'm not asked about him one bit, to be honest.
How long have you known Ryan for?
Oh, when I was he's a lot older than me, he's 31, so for him to be going off the way he started, all like the back and forth on your Insta and whatnot, I find it quite funny, but I love all that, so it made no end to me. But I wasn't going to start it for no reason, but then he started putting stuff about what he's going to do to me and knock me out, and so then I thought, yeah, let's run with it.
Where did that needle come from then?
Well, I sparred him last year and we was cool. Then he boxed probably about a month later and we was cool. Like, I said hello to him. He boxed a kid that I'd already beat and my brother had already beat. But then a couple of weeks after that, he was out on the piss, and then when he was in Marbella and he started messaging on Twitter about 2 o'clock Spanish time in the morning, I was thinking, what's he want? Like, I remember it was between me and Harvey on the little thing, and he jumped in out of the blue saying, oh, you wouldn't know what a war is, all you do is run, or something like that. And I was thinking, well, 2 weeks ago, whatever it was, you saw me and you didn't have nothing to say then. And even like a whole year later, I was in Marbella about a month and a half ago, 2 months ago, when the World Cup was on. And he clocked eye contact with me, looked at his shoes and walked straight past me and my boy. Like, so he gives it all like the sort of like Twitter talk and that, but he's soft, you know what I mean? He's not the most liked kid, do you know what I mean? I've been told stories and after stories that I'm not even going to go into because it's not my business and obviously it's irrelevant, but he's a bit of a bully, especially when he's had a drink. Like, I just don't really like him. I just feel he's a bit of a prick, to be honest. Like, but his boxing, he's had a decent little career. But one thing, like, he's given it all like this sort of big and high and mighty about what he's going to do, and it's like, if I've had 22 fights, lost to 2 world champions and a European champion, 19 wins, right? And I'm playing second fiddle to a 22-year-old, 9 years younger, who's 8-0, hasn't fought anyone. Yeah, I've got the WBO European title, but it's in my city, it's on like my platform. I'm giving him the opportunity, really. So something's gone, so his career's taken a downward spiral if he's the B-side in that fight. Really, it should be me sort of yapping at his heels and using him, but it's like he's coming up, everything's on my terms, you know what I mean? I'm getting more money, my title, my city, my TV platforms, you know what I mean? So he's playing second fiddle at 31 years old, 22 fights into his pro career. So he can give all the big talk he wants, but they're the facts. Like, I'm the first on the headline and supposed to be second. And it wouldn't have, if it weren't for my title, it would have still been that same way. Because it was never, oh, let's go fight in Liverpool, we'll make more money in Liverpool. It was never that was never an option. MTKF shows in Liverpool, why wasn't it? Because no one's asked about Farrag. Like, since he got beat by Burnett, what's he done? He nearly got stopped by Jose Hernandez, so I watched it. He won 58-57 and shouldn't have won. It should have been a draw. And then he stopped an absolute tin can over in Malaga, wherever it was, who was completely useless. Took 5 rounds to do it as well. So, who's asked about Ryan Farrag? He's 31, he looks old. In sparring, he's slow. Watching his fights, he's very unimpressive. Like, he just... There's nothing that I'm asked about. I felt like his strength, his power. He tries be rough on the inside, but I'm just too cute. I'm going to be too sharp, too fit, and levels above him. And he was respectful, and he's always been respectful face value. But I don't know what, he sort of gets away from that, and he sort of changes persona. But then he'll see you in the flesh, and he won't do nothing again. He won't say nothing. He'll look at his shoes and walk past you. So, like, yeah, I'm a bit of a wind-up, bit of a mouthpiece, but I'm going to say it straight to your face as well. I'm not going to be like a little gobshite. He's 31 years old, do you know what I mean? So he's way past. I think after this, he's got nowhere to go. I think he knows that. He reckons I'm just going to be an easy walk for him, and then he's got the British title of Jay Harris in January. I think it's going to be on the board for. But obviously, when you lose to a British fighter, then the board ain't going to have him to fight for the British straight after that. 'Cause you can't lose to a British fighter and then go straight for the British title. It don't make sense. This fight ideally should have been. I'm good mates with Jay Harris. He was a good fighter, and our path probably will cross. Maybe even after this fight, if it was for the British title though, because we're too good friends to fight for something not meaningful.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? But you got to remember, Farrag chose to fight me over a definite British title shot in a couple of months. Why? Because a fight with me raises his stock if he wins. Like, and that's the truth, do you know what I mean? So he had the option to sort of just sidestep me and then just go straight for the Brits in a couple of months, chose not to. I think that was a mistake, but obviously the money incentive I think will be the main thing, because what would he get for a vacant British title? Who's going to put purse bids in? I don't know. Neither of them have got promoters. Jay Harris is a good fighter, but he struggled to get on the cards. He's had a frustrating year. I'm close to him, I know this. But yeah, even regardless, I think Farrag loses to him as well. I think at super flyweight he's too weak. He's drawn. He looks drawn already from like 5-6 weeks. He's looked all sort of like gaunt in the face. Like, but this ain't even my weight. I was a 49 kilo amateur. 50.8 is a breeze. So 52.2 I'm comfy, and if he thinks he's going to sort of weather the storm and like sort of come back from behind or catch me when I slow down, it's not going to happen. There's no evidence of it ever happening in no sparring, in no fights. I don't slow down. Like, I think mentally I'm too strong for him, physically I'm too sharp for him, and everything's in my favour. I think he's coming up to make the numbers. And don't get me wrong, it's going to be a tough fight. He's going to be there, but I think once he starts slowing down, and he won't be able to get in the way of my shots, and I think that's it, to be honest. What you were saying earlier, Anto?
What's the deal with Harvey Horn as well?
Oh, no, me and Harvey go way back. I mean, we used to knock about each other when we was 14, 15. Nothing wrong, I like the kid on a face value, but when he turned pro, obviously by the time he turned pro, I think I'd already won the WBO European, I think. Or mate, I was coming up to something like that. And he's mentioned my name in interviews. Nah, like, if you're going to mention my name, let's fight now. Like, let's fight for something at 10 rounds. We'll get past straight away. Oh, why don't you want it? Oh, you don't want it? Oh, and then he'll start saying, oh, Sonny was jealous of me when I was on GB. I won my seniors in my first year. He chose not to go in it. He won him the year before, but I wasn't old enough to go in him, so how could I win him? Of course you're going to get on GB before me. Of course. And then, obviously, I won the seniors. Then, even with an injury the next year, like I had a thumb injury, I still went in next year, even though GB told me not to. He chose the second year not to go in him because obviously there's risky fights there. There's Joe Mafosu who just boxed and won. There was me, even Galawi Afai, who now obviously is pushed on and doing really well. But yeah, with Harvey, don't get me wrong, he's a decent little fighter, but I think you can see by his lacklustre performances so far in his pro career, he hasn't got the mental strength really to have any longevity. If we just compare like journeyman fights, he drew a round against Patrick Bartos, won 40-37. I put the kid down 4 rounds, stopped him in a second. 4 times, stopped him in a second. He won 40-36 against Guy Ladodu. I snapped him off in the 3rd round and didn't have no trouble with him. I mean, I think Harvey hasn't got the mental strength or even the want to proper be a boxer. Still talking, and yeah, So I wouldn't really say he's a threat because after this WBO European title, I'm already ranked 14th in WBO Superfly. Even though I don't really want to campaign at Superfly, I can't get no fights at flyweight. I even tried to get one maybe with Mafosa, but he wasn't interested. Harvey obviously not interested. There's no one in Britain that's interested at flyweight. Andrew Selby's obviously fighting for the European, so I'm not going to call him out. Do you know what I mean? And obviously he hasn't been in the ring in a year.
No, what's happening with Andrew?
I don't know too much.
Talk of him pulling out the game.
Yeah, I heard that, but then now he's got his license back. I think it got taken away, but I don't know what for. But then again, I really respect Andrew Selby as a fighter. I really like him as a person as well. Do you know what I mean? So there will never be any more. I would fight him. Like, I'm not saying I wouldn't fight him. It would never be that, but I would get to that. I would get to that position. I would call, if the fight was offered, I'm not going to turn down any fight. Do you know what I mean? So as long as it's fair, I don't want stupid money. I want fair money. You know what I mean? It's a business at the end of the day. But I just want to stay regular. I want to fight anyone. I don't care about records. And I think I've proven that with. I think people maybe got a bit annoyed that I kept calling out these fights and then I weren't actually fighting no one. But that wasn't ever on my side. We've had fights agreed a couple of times, and the opponents then pulled out or asked them for like nearly triple the money.
You're talking about Prince Patel?
That was one of them. He accepted 10, then said he wanted more, got offered 12 and a half, then said he wanted 25. How is that? No, does that mean it's a good fight? Then I got to pay my purse as well, and mine was I'll accept any money as long as it's the same or more than him. So then I got to pay mine. It's not going to generate that. Like, let's not be daft. You know what I mean? But I think this Farrag proves, because a lot of people think, oh, that's a dangerous fight. Of course, it's a dangerous fight. But I don't want to roll over these journeymen because I can't even get up for training. I can't even get up for training for these journeymen. You can look at my body language in these fights. I'm putting people down. I'm just not asked. Blank expression on my face. I find it embarrassing. When I boxed that Patrick Bartos, who Harvey Horn drew around against, I felt embarrassed in there. I felt embarrassed to have sold tickets to any of my people that came to watch. And it was in Essex and it got changed in the last minute, but I still had like 20 people there. I was meant to box the day before. And I only had 10 days notice on that fight. I found out 10 days. I obviously had all my camp as well, but I'm talking about people I sold tickets to. But I felt embarrassed. You know what I mean? And I feel like I can't get behind those fights. So how do I expect anyone to get behind them?
In the lead up to this Farrag fight, has Prince Patel had anything to say?
Oh no, he blocked me on everything a while ago.
You're blocked?
Oh, on everything. Like, and on absolutely everything was I can't got no contact with him. But now Prince Patel's doing his thing. He's
Sorry, brother, I apologise. Can we?
Champ.
How you doing, babe?
He
Shout out to my mom. Man right here.
he done that to my brother, you know, in your call.
What was Charlie?
He's done that the exact same thing. You could drink off an iPhone. Can't remember who he fought though. Yes, champ, you're good. But yeah, it's one of those things with Patel. I don't think that fight will ever happen. He's somehow blagging a world record, which I think is hilarious, to be honest. But if he does fight anyone, he's going to get his arse handed to him, and it's going to be horrible as well. A lot of people love to watch it, so I guess if his game plan is to sort of build up to one little payday and then sort of get knocked out, then I think he's going to outweigh about it. But he's not learning nothing from these fights. You can't be learning nothing from people that in Britain when he was fighting journeyman, he weren't stopping no one. He was struggling. He should have drew against Brett Fido 1:39.38. So then goes over there and he's putting him out in 30 seconds. Like, how are you learning? You ain't learning nothing. He trains himself from what he says down the West Ham gym. So what are you learning? You're not getting no better. So I don't think that fight will ever happen unless I am that one that sort of gets him the most money. I think that might take a while. But with Harvey Horn and these other fighters, Ryan Farrag's a world-ranked opponent, former European champion at bantamweight, fought for the bantamweight British title, only lost to 2 world champions and European champions. So you know what I mean? He's a reputable opponent, older, ABA finalist. So he's a good fighter. But I think this is going to allow me to show the levels live on BoxNation main event. So it's perfect. So I snapped it at both hands. I was sort of yapping a bit because I don't want to fight a journeyman. I don't want to just have a tick over and get easy money. I want to build a profile and I want to build a legacy, and this really is my first step. To this point, I don't think I've really had a professional fight. Perfectly honest, I think to this point it's my first professional fight really, because no disrespect to Ross Murray, he was too small. He was too fragile, and it was complete. There wasn't anyone that was sat there, or apart from his close fans, or thinking about the fight before that thought, hey, Sonny's going to lose this, or it could be hard. It just wasn't that. But this, I'm hoping that there is a lot more people thinking, actually, Ryan Farrag's going to do something, or actually, he's going to be too strong for him, or something along these lines. Because then when I win, I actually think, well, actually, they're going to start rating me a lot higher. You know what I mean? And I think this will shoot up my rankings in obviously Britain, because it'll be one of the biggest Superfly fights in Britain for a while. Definitely not since my brother and Butcher. But yeah, it's just
What is happening with your brother Charlie?
in negotiations. You know, it's hard. It gets frustrating. They're offering people to fight, like world level fights, world champions even, and they're looking like they're going through. And then for the opponent's trainer in saying actually I'd rather this route for you, so that sort of fell through, and then sort of just teetering around. It's getting frustrating, but something's going to have to give soon with Charlie. Something's going to have to give very soon, because you can't just sit in limbo. Like, he had his career best win and performance, and he looked unreal against Anthony Nelson, and Anthony Nelson gave Jamie Connon a very, very hard fight. Obviously stars make fights, and obviously it was a bit of inactivity. Do you know what I mean? So, but that performance just sort of pushed him on. Do you know what I mean? Best of luck. Best of luck.
Cheers.
That performance should have been bang, busy. But I think sometimes Charlie's biggest downfall is his ambition, because he pushes for the big fights. Maybe too early, but maybe not too early physically or ability-wise. But if the fight's not ready there to be made, you're waiting around. And obviously if that fight then falls through, you're waiting around even longer, and it just gets frustrating. You know what I mean? So it's a hard one to go through, really.
Well, listen, Sonny, we look forward to the 26th. You and Ryan Farrag. People, how are they going to get tickets?
You can still get a few. You can still get a few through me and a few of the other fighters on there. We had really good response. I sold. I sold out all my tickets really. The first batch I ordered within the first week, so I ordered some more. So I've done alright at tickets. You know what I mean, it's never easy as well. Coming out a couple months before Christmas, but yeah, if they want tickets, any of the fighters, me directly, that's the best way. Or if nothing else, you can go straight through the MTK channel. I think it's going to be a great night, because there's some really good fights now.
Yeah, live on BoxNation.
Yeah, live on BoxNation as well, so it'll be good production value, good fights, a few good fighters, a few Olympians making their debut, good stacked undercard. Sam McNess, McKinson are going to be a very good fight.
Dan Aziz on the bill.
Dan Aziz, yeah, he's looked good so far. So I think, yeah, it's going to be a very good fight.
Listen, best of luck, and we'll catch up with you after. Top man. Cheers.